LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing, co-hosts Brian Schmidt, PJ Noodleman, and producer Dangerous Dan Margetta. Call the show anytime at 414-421-7901. And now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
Hello there. Welcome to Elimination Day, one of a couple of those days we get when we start with 16 and we end with 4. Today is the end of the second round, and we're going to eliminate 4 cars. Hello, everyone. Todd Bailing in Greendale, Wisconsin. Our 3 partners are down to 2 this week. PJ will not be joining us. She's doing what good daughters do. She's with her mom, who had some issues this week. Mom had 2 different surgeries. She had a TAVR valve put in and a pacemaker put in, and then she came home from the hospital Friday and had a stroke. And right now she's recovering. Her motor skills are good, she tells us, and things are looking good for Mom. So we're thinking of her and PJ, and what a crazy way for PJ to celebrate her birthday today with taking care of Mom. Speaking of birthdays, our own Brian Schmidt of Utzberg, USA, also celebrating his birthday today. Hi, Brian.
Hi. Yeah, PJ's birthday was Monday, actually. But yeah, mine is today. Yes, and we get to watch the race today on the much maligned Roval. That I don't think there's anybody out there that really likes the Roval, but we got it this year, and we're going to have it again next year. So
wait a minute, you told me it wasn't going to be there next year.
People thought that, but when the schedule came out about a month ago, it was there again. So we're going to see it again next year.
Oh, jeez. And of course, Dan Margetta. Now, Dan, this is very interesting and different for Dan Margetta because, for one, he is not in lacrosse, as is PJ not in lacrosse, both for different reasons. PJ taking care of Mom, and Dan had tickets for the Brewer game yesterday and didn't go up today. Welcome.
Yeah, it was for the first time in 16 years I'm not at Oktoberfest, which I do miss it because that's one of the best racing weekends of the year, and it's just cool to see all your racing fans one more time before this off-season kind of thing. But Brewers-Cubs playoffs and having decent tickets, and I got to hold the American flag during the national anthem. It was kind of a cool deal. We got to see him beat the Cubs. Happy. Now I'll do it, 2 more times. I'd be really happy.
Yeah. And well, it's coming. Don't worry about it. I'll tell you right now. Don't worry. Remember, the Cubs have to win 3 out of the next 4. So
hopefully they can do it. But today we go to the Roval, and it's an elimination race, and it's chaos, which NASCAR likes chaos lately. You really don't know what's going to happen because it's kind of a crazy setup. Now the tires are falling off, and there's all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
There. Yeah.
Great stuff. These tires are not lasting very long at all. Kyle Busch came out and said they brought the wrong tire. Well, what's nice about that, actually, is that if everybody in the race is on the same tire, it's not really the wrong tire anymore, is it? No, we're going to use tires as part of our strategy. But that's only part of it. Apparently, from what I'm reading, the track is so slick that cars are sliding all around to start with. So, my God, they're going to make Reddick work his ass off today, I'll tell you that much. Tyler Reddick is our pole sitter at 95.510 miles an hour. It took him almost a minute and a half to get around this road course. 1 minute, 25.939 seconds to get around this place. And he beat SVG by 32 hundredths of a second. So that's your front row. Reddick and Shane Van Gisbergen, the king of the road courses. I guess we could start with, is there anybody that has a shot at beating SVG today? I'm going to say yes, just because of all the factors we just mentioned.
Well, they have a shot, but I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, SVG's been kind of out of the limelight since Watkins Glen, and I think he's going to, he's going to stick it to him today.
Well, he's definitely the guy to beat on road courses, but Tyler Reddick, in case you didn't have enough. First of all, he's a kind of a likable character. The only thing I really don't like about Tyler Reddick is I'm not much of a Toyota lover. But here he is starting from the pole. His where he is in the points, he's going to need to win today to make it to the next round, right, Brian?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the point situation right now, it's more. I mean, with stage points, it gets a little closer. But like Joey and Ross Chastain are the two that are like the closest that could flip. Joey is 13 to the good. Ross is 13 out. After that, Chase Briscoe is 21 to the good. So if he picks up any stage points today and doesn't have a problem, he should be all right. Bubba Wallace is 26 out. So he's going to have to probably win because it's going to be really hard, and he's not a great road racer. And Reddick is 29 out. So, yeah, he's going to have to win today, I think. Either that or you're going to have some catastrophic stuff happen early in the race for the guys up above. I mean, Christopher Bell is 44 to the good. So, I mean, you can lose all that if you get out right, if you fall out right away and aren't able to continue on. But Larson, 54 to the good, and Hamlin, 48 to the good. I think they're safe. Bell and Byron are going to have an early wreck, and then Briscoe and Logano are the two that just have to have good clean days, and I think they'll be all right.
And like I mentioned, it's not like this is all Tyler Reddick has to worry about whether or not he makes it to the next round. He has been dealing with some family things that you don't want anybody to have to deal with the pressure he's dealing with. But let's think of more of his son, whose name, by the way, is Rookie Reddick. He's 4 months old, and he has a tumor. The tumor is choking his kidney. What that has done is it has caused his heart to work extra hard. We're talking a 4-month-old here, folks, which has caused an enlarged heart. So what the plan is, they have a plan. They're going to remove the right kidney. He should be okay with one kidney. People make it through life with one kidney, and that's going to take the pressure off of the kid's heart. But imagine, being a parent and having this hanging over you and worrying about your kid at the same time. If you don't win today, you're going to get eliminated. Let's put everything into the proper place. This is not important for Tyler Reddick. Yes, it's important for television, and it's important for sponsors, and it's important for NASCAR and all that. But what's really important is little Rookie right now, and we're all thinking about him. And oh boy, the issues just don't stop, do they? The things that people have to deal with, it's amazing. The playoff drivers who are in it today, I mentioned Reddick on the pole, SVG right there. But then you've got Kyle Larson will be starting 4th. C. Bell will start 7th. Briscoe starts 8th. Chastain starts 10th. Blaney starts 11th, but he's already advanced, so he doesn't have to worry about it. Bubba starts 12th. Byron starts 13th. Denny Hamlin, the world's dumbest race car driver, will start 14th. I don't care if you're racing for your spot. Well, we'll get to that later. You gotta be kidding me. You're supposed to be one of the greats. Give me a break. He starts 14th today. Chase Elliott, surprise, will start 15th, and he's also advanced due to his win last week. Joey Logano starts 17th, and Austin Cindric starts 19th. By the way, Josh Bilicki is in today's race, will start 34th. And I guess I meant...
And if you look at that lineup, there's where these guys have a shot to eliminate Joey Logano. Their best bet. If he can keep him pinned back there where he's not collecting any stage points, Ross Chastain starts 10th. If he can move forward, collect some, you can lower that gap. It's 13. If Ross can collect points during the 2 stages and Joey somehow doesn't, there's your chance. Remember last year, we all left the Roval thinking Joey was done, and then he wasn't.
Yeah.
So,
so if you don't do it today, he's going to be there in the Final Four. Watch.
Yeah, right. I mean, next week at Vegas, Logano's as good as anybody on those tracks out there, and you're going to keep giving him a chance. But, today is the day. If they want to eliminate him and not have to worry about him in the Final Four, you got to get him out today and keep him pinned back there. So that, I mean, if he doesn't move anywhere and he finishes 17th, and Chastain has a somewhat of a decent day and moves up a little bit, that could be it for him.
We're going to take a break and be back. We're glad you're tuned in, and hang in there. We'll be right back.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
Love waits for the snap, and here it is. Rushan has time, throws left side of the end zone. Catch made. Romeo Dobbs has the pylon. Touchdown, Green Bay. And he throws the football into the stands. To Richardson. Winds up deep down the right side into a gaggle of bodies. It's broken up. Intercepted by the Packers.
The home of your Green Bay Packers and the flagship of the Packers Radio Network.
And there is your dagger.
97.3 The Game.
A little programming note, if you missed this last week, Fox Sports 920 has told us that due to some obligations with the NFL, we are not going to be on the radio the next 2 weeks. And here's the way around that. Now, I realize that there are some folks that don't have computers. Then you're kind of SOL. You're going to kind of have to wait a couple of weeks to hear us again. However, the program will be live on Facebook and YouTube, and so that you can listen and participate. And if you don't do that, you can download the podcast, available everywhere, and listen to it at your convenience. But this is, we've known about this. It's just something that happens, and we're okay with it because we're on the greatest station in the world, and to be there, we just need to deal with some things, and once in a while this happens. So don't worry about it. We'll be back after that. But the next 2 weeks, you won't hear us here on Fox Sports 920 anyway. Now, that being said, today's race is televised on USA Network, which means you have to have either satellite or cable to see it. The green flag is at 2:05 this afternoon, our time. It's a perfect day for racing. 80 degrees, partly cloudy, no chance of rain. It's all beautiful. So that's what's coming today. That's not what the issue is. The issue is going to be that slick track and tires that want to come apart after a half a lap. But is that bad? I don't know. Let's find out. That'll be fun to watch, I guess. And we don't have to worry. The Packers have a bye week. Brewers don't play till tomorrow. We're all good, right? Okay. Now, that said, let's talk a little bit about Kansas. I don't really want to talk about the first part of the race that is all up until the last turn of the last lap, because here you have Bubba, who is in a position to win a race and go to the next round of the playoffs. And there's a late caution, and they get them all lined up. And his car owner, Denny Hamlin, on the last turn of the last lap, is not happy to finish second. And nobody says he should be happy to finish second. That's not the problem. The problem is overdriving and causing not only your chance to win the race go right out the window, but your driver's chance to win the race and get in. That's two different people that were eliminated from at least having an automatic path to the next round when he slams into his own driver, and Chase Elliott was in a perfect position to take advantage of the brainless move by Denny Hamlin last week. Now, Bubba, to his credit, gets out of the car and they jam a microphone in his face. And in the past, he has not been in a good place. He is a different guy since he's become a father and he's settled down a little bit. And he even said something about it. In the past, I probably would have called him a dumbass boss. You just did. We loved it.
He's getting better at playing the game there. You kind of got it finally. That's how you do it. You kind of you kind of do it without actually saying it.
Yeah, there you go. And he went over and shook his hand later and this and that. And, Hamlin wasn't so dumb as to wreck the end of the race for himself and his driver. But yesterday, he actually told the media, I didn't know that he was upset. Really? You thought he'd be happy with that brainless ass move that you made? You got to be kidding me. They finally talked it out yesterday. I hope there was nobody around, and I hope he said, listen, I don't care if I drive for you or not. You can't be so stupid. Which is really what he was. I'm sorry. Yeah, I owe it to my sponsors and my car owner to give it all to win the race. Yes, you do. You're correct. I agree completely with that assessment. But don't overdrive and cost both drivers a shot, okay? And that's exactly what he did.
And he also did it for the manufacturer, because Toyota, too, he gave Chevrolet a win over Toyotas, which dominated that race for the most part.
And did you see the in-car video from Elliott? He was, what was he, 5th on that last restart?
10th. He started 10th.
And he made all the right moves and needed one major thing to happen at the end to actually win. So he made all these right moves in 1 3/4 laps, and then we have the Hamlin factor that took care of the rest. And he goes on to win. And my goodness, what a popular win for Kansas, the Kansas racetrack and the Kansas race fans who, they didn't want to watch a Toyota win the race. Let's face facts. Nobody likes Toyotas.
And think about that, too. I mean, where was Chase coming into the thing? He wasn't exactly guaranteed to advance. I mean,
I had him eliminated.
I mean, he was close to being eliminated. So now you put him in the next round, and you took your other guy out of that because he's probably going to get eliminated today.
Yeah.
I mean, so that just played right into Chevrolet's hands.
Incredibly short-sighted. But who thinks about these things when you can see the checkered flag is waving in front of you, and you got to do whatever you got to do. Now here's the defense of the what I consider to be kind of brainless. The defense is all that goes out the window, and all you want to do is win the race. Okay, I get that, but there's so much more at stake, including you're a car owner. I would have loved to have seen a interview with Michael Jordan after that race.
One of our listeners got it right. He's like, what if that was reversed? What if that was Bubba taking out Denny from the win and Chase Elliott won? Do you think Denny would be okay with that?
Ooh.
Yeah. I didn't know he was upset, Hamlin says. Are you kidding?
It just goes to show where the 1.5 miles, though, are, again, continue to produce the best racing. And Kansas has done it a couple years in a row now. And, I'm looking forward to next year at Chicago, hoping we can have something like that there on that big 1.5 mile, that's aged. The track is going to be slick. It's going to be in the middle of summer. That's where these cars are putting on their best type of racing, which was totally not what the idea was when they built this car. But
the last races, they were pretty good. I remember Kyle Larson and then the one you were at, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's to bring the right tire, though, and that's what it's going to be all about. We're very happy you're tuned in. We're going to sneak away for a break, and there's lots of other interesting things going on, which we'll talk about right after these.
From From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines. Just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company in the heart of Wisconsin is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Rush on, tight pocket. There we go. Set. There you go. There's the pressure they've been waiting for. Edger and Cooper. Cairo Santos for the game. Here's the snap. Placement made. The kick is blocked. It is blocked. It is blocked. And the Packers have won. Beautiful.
The home of your Green Bay Packers and the flagship of the Packers Radio Network.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
97.3 The Game.
The rest of NASCAR has been racing on this Roval track that they highly touted Roval track. The Connor and Corey show continued in the Xfinity Series. Connor Zilisch won his 10th race. It was an elimination race, Brian, and a couple guys are no longer going to be part of a. Not that anybody's going to have anything for Zilisch anyway, but who got eliminated?
Yeah, Gray got eliminated. Nick Sanchez got eliminated. Jeb Burton, and then Austin Hill was eliminated. He was eliminated by 21 points. Guess how many points he lost at Indianapolis back in July?
Yeah, turning Almirola was not a good decision.
And
no,
he was
it was
21st?
not. Yep.
And he's number 21.
Yep. So we don't have to deal with him. But so the final 8 for the Xfinity Series, Zilisch, obviously, he's 57 points to the good. I mean, wow. And who doesn't think he's going to win one of these last 3 races, right? I mean,
right.
Justin Allgaier is 24 to the good, and then it gets tight. You got Brandon Jones, the only Toyota left in the Xfinity Series. He's 4 to the good. Sam Mayer, he's 2 to the good. On the outside looking in right now, Jesse Love, the lone Childress car left. He's 2 out. Then you have Sammy Smith. He's 7 out, another Junior Motorsports car. That's 3. Carson Quapple is still in it. He's 11 out. That's 4 Junior Motorsports cars of the last 8. And then Sheldon Creed, he's 13 out. So both factory Haas team cars are still going as well, too. So it's going to be interesting down the stretch for everybody but Zilisch. And then it's just a matter of, it comes down to Phoenix. Wouldn't that be something if Zilisch is somehow not able to win that race at Phoenix to win the championship?
There is another factor involved there, Brian, and I don't know if you realize it or not, but even though our buddy, who we affectionately call the douche canoe, he may have been eliminated from the driver championship, but the 21 car can still win the championship for the car owners, which is, as we've learned, where all the money is, right?
Right, yeah, because it was only driver points that he got, not owner's points. So, yeah, Sheldon Creed is out with the 00 car as far as the owner points are concerned. But, I mean, let's face it, Junior Motorsports cars are the best this year. You got 4 of them in the 4 of the last 8. And wouldn't it be something if a scenario comes up where all 4 junior motorsports cars are the ones racing for the championship?
Oh, God.
I mean, it could happen.
Oh, yeah.
Then they may make them not be able to own 4 cars. That's what they did to Roush that time when he had half the chase field. Remember, we couldn't own 5.
Yep. We're 5 out of 10, and no, we got to make a new rule because that's nobody wants to see that. The other half of the Connor and Corey show, Corey Heim won his 10th race of the year in the truck series. Josh Balicki was in the race, and he finished 6th. He had some, by the way, not just finished 6th, he finished 6th in the Chimney Mechanics sponsored number 41 car, by the way. And he had some bad luck in that race, Brian. I didn't see it, but apparently you can't. Sometimes stuff happens, right?
Yeah, he was running right up in the top 5 there late in the race, and then I believe it was Ruggiero got into the back of Bailey Curry, and then Bailey Curry. Or how did that all go? You were watching it, Dan. I was just listening.
Yeah, he was running 4th. And I knew it was coming. I even texted you guys, this is where Josh can get run over because it happens all the time in the end. They just don't respect the guy. And it was Bailey Curley, his teammate, was 2 trucks behind him. He ran in the back of Ruggiero, who hit Josh in the back, and he spun out of 4th. But then he came back and finished 6th. So he had a hell of a run to get back up there.
No kidding.
But you got to quit getting run over late in the races. And that seems to happen to him all the time. There's just no respect there for some reason.
It's odd. But, yeah, you're right. He just...
And when you look at the Truck Series points, of course, Corey Heim is running away with it, but the rest of it is as tight as it could possibly be. 2nd place in points, Tyler Ankrum, he's 2 to the good, along with Daniel Hemrick, he's 2 to the good. Raja Karuth is 1 in, and then on the outside looking in, Lane Riggs, who had a lot of issues at the Roval, he's 1 out. Ty Majeski is 2 out, who had some issues at the end of that race as well. Kind of a bonsai move there at the end. Grant Infinger is 4 out, and Caden Honeycutt is 4 out. So you got basically 4 points separating 2nd through 8th as they have off next week at Vegas, but then they run Talladega and Martinsville to decide their final 4. So it's going to be nip and tuck for everybody but Corey Heim.
How would you like to have to do something at Talladega, God.
Yeah, everybody's kind of in the same boat there. But now the 11's in the final 4. We figured he'd get there anyways. Now, if he don't win this championship at Phoenix, people are going to scream. I mean, he won 10 races. Same with the 88 on the Xfinity side, if you don't get there.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be the call for, like we talked last week, of possibly, there's thoughts of going back to the old points format. I mean, there's really no drama now. Now the drama is, boy, can these guys get this done? They've been so dominant all year. Can they get it done? Can they win it at Phoenix? Right now, we'd be sitting here with the old format saying, well, it's over and done with already. So you can kind of see both sides of it. Rewarding for the year's worth of work. However, if you look at other sports, the Brewers had the best record in baseball all year, and we're on pins and needles wondering how that's going to go. Where if you just awarded an entire season's worth of work, that would be done with already too. So you see both sides of the argument.
Yeah, I mentioned this is the last race of this round, the elimination race. The next round will be, as Brian just mentioned, Las Vegas, Talladega, and Martinsville. Can you have a more diverse threesome right there? Vegas, 1.5 miles. Talladega, the super duper, and Martinsville, a short one where there's so much contact all the time. Hey, wait a minute. Dan, you usually go to Las Vegas, don't you?
I'll be there next week. I leave Wednesday night, so I'll be there
Wait a minute. I thought you had tickets for the Brewers.
I do. I will miss Game 5 if there is a Game 5. They better not be. I'll miss the first game of the next series and they go on. But yeah, it's been about 2 years since I've been to Vegas, and it's a really cool place. And I love the fact that it's an elimination race, or it puts you in the championship fight. It's got that kind of prestige about it. So I'm looking forward to getting out there. I'll be back. I'm coming back Tuesday afternoon. I land at like 3:00, and I'm going right to the stadium for Game 2, hopefully, of the championship series.
There you go. That's a positive attitude right there. Dan has had partial season tickets for many, many years, some of which he's actually bestowed on me on occasion to go with him. So, and that's always been fun. But I just, it's a lot for you to keep on your plate all at one time, Dan.
It is. Well, wait, they make the World Series, and I got some decisions to make about Phoenix because Game 6 and 7 is during Phoenix weekend. So we'll get to that when we get there.
Yeah. I don't even want to think about it right now. There's, boy, you've thought of pretty far in advance. That's for sure. There's some good news coming. NBCSN, remember that? they kind of did away with it and tried to steer everybody into their Peacock app. Well, I don't know if Peacock is doing as great a job as they thought it was. If maybe they just don't have all that many subscribers because they are going to relaunch NBCSN this fall, and I know they're going to be putting some NASCAR stuff on there, so that's pretty cool. We're going to go to a break and be back. Thanks for listening. We'll be back.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
I'm Mark Belling, and my podcast is here, and I'm tackling the world. You can find me on the iHeart app or wherever you get your podcasts. Type Mark Belling Podcast in the search and hang on for the ride.
The Mark Belling Podcast is presented by Uline. For quality shipping and industrial supplies, Uline has everything in stock. Visit uline.com. Also supported by Kunis Auto and RV. The Mark Belling Podcast, now available at iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, we know December 1st is the day that's I don't think anything good can possibly come out of it, but by now we've heard the words that Michael Jordan has lost more money in a casino than it's going to cost him to take NASCAR to court and perhaps get rid of the system as we know it, or maybe even worse than that. NASCAR this week went around to 10 car owners and asked them to sign a letter that says we all support and want to continue the charter system. Dan, there's good reasons for this sort of thing, right?
Well, I think they're all worried about what happens if it's gone. And that's the alternative. And everybody was probably not happy to sign that deal. They came up and did they strong arm it? They probably did. 13 of the 15 teams signed it because they realized the alternative of it with nothing there is way, way worse. Now, okay, Jordan's team and the front row team stood up and sued NASCAR because they're going to, prove a point, I guess. And they're here, but nobody's starting to think what if they win? So what if the teams win? I mean, okay, you won. What do you do now? I mean, say NASCAR loses and they say, okay, charters are gone. Now everything's done. We don't want to do this anymore. Do they have a plan in place to go forward? I mean, is there something going on behind the scenes? Does Jordan have something? Can we start a series? Can we do everything? There's a lot of things going on here. I just don't know if they're seeing the big picture that way, whereas, okay, say you win, then what? I haven't heard a plan from that side. What happens? Okay, you stuck it to them, but now what do you got?
Yeah, and what exactly what's the end game? Are we going to start a new series or something? This is screaming, as far as I'm concerned. It's screaming for a settlement. And what could possibly come out of a settlement? Well, there's two major things I believe that are standing in the way right now. The teams want the charters to be permanent. NASCAR has said the reason they don't have permanent charters is because the television contract gets renegotiated every few years, and they can't guarantee anything without knowing that there's going to be TV money. That's the first part of it. And Dan, as far as the second part goes, make it into simple terms for us.
Second part of what?
Of what we could possibly get out of this whole lawsuit.
I mean, I think they were looking for a bigger piece of the pie, which they kind of got in the new agreement. And I think the permanent charters is probably the biggest thing. And if you just settle the thing right now, maybe that's a settlement. Maybe it's like we all come together and we agree these charters are going to be permanent and we make it all work and go forward. I think that might be the best outcome of this deal. I mean,
how big is the piece of pie? That's what it's pretty much going to come down to, right?
Yeah, right. And you know, they've got a bigger piece already. Maybe it's not enough. I mean, they probably know more than that deal. I mean, a lot of people are on the team side and saying, yeah, maybe NASCAR has too much. I don't know the details of that. And you know, or do we make them open their books and look stupid? Okay, you did that. Now what happens?
You've been lying to us all these years about this and that, and look at how much money you're making and how much the teams aren't making. And you know, who's putting on the show here? What are you doing for your money sitting in that ivory tower down in Daytona Beach? Right.
And Denny's never really said exactly what he's looking for out of it. I guess that's kind of the strange part. You know, he never really put a figure out there that this is how much money I'm losing. This is how much money I need to be able to keep going, you know, as an owner. And MJ hasn't said that either, you know, so they just keep going on with, you know, the rhetoric that we need them to open their books. We need them to open their books. But, you know, if you were to actually say, this is really what we're looking for, you haven't said that.
In the team's defense, you know, like Jeff Gordon has said, the president of Hendrick, they don't make money. They hope to break even, but they don't. Does that include sponsor money? I think isn't that where it puts them into the black? Because you know, I realize that it costs a lot to put four race cars on racetracks, and the people involved, and the technology involved, and the logistics involved. However, there's got to be a point, because you can't continue. It's not a business model that's meant for continuing.
Well, look at their next couple of weeks here. I mean, just from a cost standpoint, you know, you're going to Vegas next week, then you're coming all the way back over here to run Talladega and Martinsville, and then you're going all the way back out there again to run Phoenix. You know, I mean,
and a part of it could be sponsorship wise. If that's the main source of revenue, well, then, you know, NASCAR maybe needs to get out of the sponsorship game, and we can't have the official list of NASCAR and the teams. You know, that kind of hurt the teams back then when they started doing that, when some companies were sponsoring a race team, but then they decided, well, you know, we'll be the official whatever of NASCAR, and they kind of took money out that way. So maybe that's part of this whole settlement deal. If they come up with this, says we can't have NASCAR sponsors and team sponsors. I don't know. That's
probably part of it. Oh, by the way, speaking of working on a shoestring budget, our buddy Carson Hocevar was fined $50,000 for his actions last week. He had come off the track with some sort of problem. I don't even know if I know what the problem was, but it was stalled in second gear is what he said. And here's the track workers are there to tow him in, and he was frustrated. So he fired the car up and spun the tires while these guys are all standing around the car. Well, you can't expect not to get fined for something like that. He said the only reason he fired it up was so he could get it into neutral because it was stuck in second gear. And he had no idea those tires were going to spin like that, thereby making a very bad situation for all the guys standing around the car. Another deal. Really? That's your story and you're sticking to it?
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, going back one more time to that lawsuit thing too. These two attorneys that are facing off have faced off against each other a lot of times before. So they're kind of they're adversaries, but not really. I mean, they've worked the same opposite sides of things, like the NCAA case and a whole bunch of other cases. And in those places, these two guys made a ton of money, and they left shambles in their wake. So I mean, that's part of the thing here too. Don't forget that these two attorneys that are on each side are very familiar with each other, because they've faced each other off in very similar lawsuits in big time deals in other sports. So I mean, step back, look at that sometimes. Like, okay, who's this really benefiting?
Yeah, no kidding. Well, this is going to be, again, it's screaming for a settlement, and I don't know if Jordan, what does he want exactly? Does he need the money? That ain't it. Does he want to put NASCAR away permanently? Maybe that's it. I don't know. Without Dan or PJ, for that matter, being at La Crosse, when we get to the results segment, we don't have one of our own people here as a reporter on scene. So we have gone to PJ's podcast partner, Dan Plan, who is standing by and getting ready to give us a report from La Crosse. This ought to be good. We're going to do a break and come back with Dirt on the Dirt right after these.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
Love waits for the snap, and here it is. Rushan has time, throws left side of the end zone. Catch made. Romeo Dobbs at the pylon. Touchdown, Green Bay. And he throws the football into the stands. To Richardson. Winds up deep down the right side into a gaggle of bodies. It's broken up. Intercepted by the Packers.
The home of your Green Bay Packers and the flagship of the Packers Radio Network.
And there is your dagger.
97.3 The Game.
And now the LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
You'd never know it with the way the weather is outside, but the dirt track season across the Midwest is quickly winding down. We'll start Friday night, Fairbury, Illinois, the Falls Frenzy. Night number 1, the Mars Dirt Car Series Super Late Models were the headliners. Ryan Unsicker grabbed the feature win there. Humboldt, Kansas for the World of Outlaw Real American Beer Late Model Series. Dennis Erb Jr. grabbed his first feature win in, it's got to be a couple years for sure, since he last won an Outlaw feature, so congratulations to him. Imperial, Pennsylvania, the Pittsburgh Motor Speedway right outside of Pittsburgh, PA. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, prelude to the Pittsburgher 100. Devin Moran was your winner there. Donaldson, Iowa, Lee County Speedway for the Power Eye Winged 410 Sprint Cars. Brady Bacon grabbed the feature win. And Friday night, finally, Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, Williams Grove Speedway, the prelude to the National Open for the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Pennsylvania posse member Chase Dietz picked up the feature win there. Last night, up at Luxembourg, they had their spooky showdown. The IMCA Modified, Benji Lacrosse was your winner, and IMCA Stock Cars was Jerry Walensky. Donaldson, Iowa, night number 2 for the Power Eye Wing Sprints. Aaron Reitzel was your winner at Lee County Speedway. Park City, Kansas, the 81 Raceway for the World of Outlaw Real American Beer Late Models, the Ed Gressel Memorial. Tim McCready grabbed the feature win there. The USRA Modifieds, Ryan Gustin put the throwback to his old Gressel Motorsports car that he won so many USMTS races with, and picked up the feature win there. It's kind of a cool moment. I saw the end of that. Imperial, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh Motor Speedway, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, Pittsburgher 100, $50,000 to win. And Jonathan Davenport continued his great season, picking up another $50,000. And finally, the big money race of the weekend was in Mechanicsburg, PA, Williams Grove Speedway, the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series, National Open, $75,000 to win that World of Outlaw Sprint Car feature. Sheldon Houdenchild got by Bill Baylog with 5 laps to go.
Oh.
Bill gave him a run down the back straightaway, and Sheldon threw one hell of a block on him. Otherwise, I think Bill was going to get by him there. Bill had a lift. That also cost him second place, so Bill ended up third. Danny Dietrich ended up second, and Sheldon Haudenchild picked up the $75,000. Oh, so close to winning a crown jewel for Bill Balog. And a reminder to fans out there that want to catch the World of Outlaws one more time, we're a couple weeks away. They're going to be at LaSalle Speedway on October 18th. That's a Saturday night. And the makeup for the rainout back in June at Sun Prairie is on Sunday night, October 19th. So 2 chances yet when the World of Outlaws come back here later on this month. Let's hope the weather's good and we can catch them one more time.
And now, making his LTN debut, our lacrosse campground correspondent, Dan Plan. Hi, Dan. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a busy little week. It's not just about drinking and partying and staying up till the campfires burn out. It's there actually was some racing there.
Yeah, there's been a lot of racing. The weather has been absolutely fantastic. It hasn't been Oktoberfest type weather, so
nice.
It's a lot of late nights, but some really great racing so far.
All right, what do you got?
Well, Thursday night, the super late, they had the futures and the nights, and Grant Griesbach continued his phenomenal year. He picked up the win in the futures, and Casey Johnson won the nights feature. The lacrosse late models, they had twin features. Skylar Holtzhausen picked up the first one, and Steve Bachman got the second one. And that kept things tight in the points for the late models because Jacob Gady had just a few point lead over Skylar, and Skylar kind of tightened things up that night. And then Friday night was what's known as the Trickle 99, where they do the 333 lap features. Andrew Morrissey won the first one. Tristan Swanson won the second one. And then Morrissey picked up the third one, and he was the overall Trickle 99 champion for the weekend. The lacrosse late models did another twin feature deal, and Nick Clements picked up the first win, and Jacob Gady won the second feature, and then secured the 2025 Lacrosse Speedway Track Championship to go along with his national title. So good weekend
Pretty awesome.
for him.
Yeah, he's had a hell of a year.
He's had a really good year.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then to continue on, last night, Gady won the Big 8 late model feature.
Oh my!
And it's been he's had a really good year, and he's going to run. He was going to run the Chase Motorsports, the Blue 47 in the supers, but they hurt the motor on Thursday, so one of his crew guys and his brother went home and got his super late, and they have that down here today, so he's going to run the 200 today in his own super late.
Oh, all right. Now, you had qualifying for the big show today. It's $10,000 to win, but what I find interesting is there's some extra money on the line.
Yeah, last I heard, I believe it was up to like $25,000 in addition to the.
It's up to 40 now.
Actually,
40,000.
40, yeah. So a total of 50,000 that Penn Sauter set fast time, and he's taking the ultimate challenge, and he's going to start at the back of the pack and try to go home with $50,000 today, which is kind of unheard of in the pavement world.
Yeah, no kidding. Tell me now, how many cars are starting the feature?
I believe they have 30 that qualified for the 200 lapper today. So
he would have started 16th if he hadn't taken the challenge, correct?
Yeah, they do a pretty good invert down here. So he would have started mid pack, and now he's just going to go back a few more rows, but still have to start at the end of the pack. For $40,000 extra dollars to start dead last, and it's a 200, correct? Correct. Yeah, and they do the controlled pit stop, so they don't have to have $1 million pit crews and all that stuff.
They're all $1 million pit crews, my friend. So, so he's actually given up about 7 rows to have a shot at an additional 40,000. The bad news, though, is that he's got some pretty damn good cars that he's got to pass, correct?
Yeah, there's a lot of the good cars. I believe, I think the championship's going to come down. There's just a few points separating Gabe Summers and Casey Johnson, and they both qualified well. And Dalton Zier qualified well. Ty Fredrickson's down here, so there's a lot of good cars that are going to be.
And Ty Majeski also, correct?
Ty Majeski, yes. Ty was at the top of the board for a long time, and and Penn went out there and got the bullet from him for the weekend.
And his teammate for the day, Michael Hine, too. We should not forget about him. He's got a shot at winning this, too. So it's a pretty
been really
stiff
strong all weekend.
bunch of competition he's got to pass. Dano, I'm sorry.
So do you think everybody would have put all that kind of money in here if Majeski would have a fast qualifier?
Yeah, I don't know if it would have went up that high with Ty winning, if Ty would have had fast time. But Greg was definitely working the streets last night to get that bonus money up.
Very good. Well, it should be a great show. It is televised on Track TV. Am I correct about that, Dan?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it's
Track TV. And what time does the feature get underway?
Racing starts at noon. I would imagine the main event will probably start about 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Okay, so there's that you'll be able to watch this afternoon also on Track TV. Dan, thanks for doing this. We do appreciate it. You are no longer an LTN virgin.
I always wanted to call in and say, hey, long-time listener, first-time caller, but now I actually got to be on the show.
Very good. All right, bud. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you down the line. We're going to take a break. LTN returns right after these.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
Rush on, tight pocket. There we go. Set. There you go. There's the pressure they've been waiting for. Edger and Cooper. Cairo Santos for the game. Here's the snap. Placement made. The kick is blocked. It is blocked. It is blocked. And the Packers have won. Beautiful.
The home of your Green Bay Packers and the flagship of the Packers Radio Network.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
97.3 The Game.
A couple of interesting things happened this week over at Childress Racing. First of all, there was a website. Sometimes these pages that show up on Facebook, you wonder where they came from. There's no policing this. There's this freedom of speech. Anybody can put anything they want out there. And there's a particular one that came out this week and said that Richard Childress was going to retire at the end of the season, which, it's not a real big stretch. He's 80 years old. How long do you want to do this? And then who are you going to put in charge? When we saw this, without thinking about where the source was, we were kind of kicking it around. Would Austin Dillon possibly give up driving? Well, Austin's dad, Mike Dillon, was a driver and still works at Childress, and I think he's much more in line for this. But then the more we thought about it, wait a minute, where's this coming from? Some page that some guy just posted. In other words, nothing really, there's no fact involved, but somebody went to Childress, or at least his whoever runs their social media, and asked about it. I thought, Dan, it was kind of an interesting answer that they had. Do you recall?
They said it wasn't true, that he was not going to retire at the end of the season. And that page responded, game on. So, I mean, they were like, let's see, maybe there's talk. Who knows what's going on there?
Maybe he'll retire before the start of next season.
I don't know. Well, they did make a crew chief change. Kyle Busch has a new crew chief now. Was it Randall Burnett is moving to go to Trackhouse, I think, next year. So now it's kind of Andy Street, I think, is a crew chief now for Kyle Busch for the rest of this year. Who knows for next year? He's still got one more year left on his contract. They're going to probably have to do something over there because they're not really running good.
Yeah, due to all the success that Randall Burnett has had with Kyle Busch this year, do I sound sarcastic? They have tagged Randall Burnett to be the crew chief for the rookie campaign next year of Connor Zilisch. So he's going to go from Kyle Busch to Connor Zilisch. That's an interesting move, but since he's still under contract, he's going to stay there, and Andy Street takes over today to be Rowdy's crew chief. It wasn't working anyway. He needed a new crew chief. For all we know, Randall Burnett might have been told, hey, maybe you want to look for a different job because this isn't working out. Of course, if that was the case, they probably would have let him go by now too. So we have two things here. Is Childress actually going to retire at the end of the season? Maybe, maybe not. It depends who you believe. If you believe Childress, hey, I'm not gonna. Okay. And the other one is what's exactly what happened with Randall Burnett? Was he told to leave, or did he just say, "Hey, I want out of this losing outfit you have here," which might be the problem there too. By the way, also Kevin Kidd. Did you ever hear that name? It seems like he was a crew chief at one time. Did either of you ever figure that one out?
No, that one's not one that.
Yeah, I've heard the name, and I got to remember where it was now. I mean, I have to look it up to find out. He was part of the mix a while ago, but now he's coming back with Stellantis, right? They're on
He is going to be the North American director of competition for Stellantis. Now, if you're like me and you don't have a clue what Stellantis is, that's the outfit that owns Mopar and Jeep and all of that. Yeah. So he's the guy who's going to be running the Dodge competition side. And it must have been him that came in and offered teams money to take over and come up with a Dodge truck. How hard would that going to be? Yeah, it's a standard body. It's a standard engine. It's an Ilmor. It's not a Ford, a Chevy. It's not a Dodge. It's an Ilmor. And all you'd have to do is put stickers on it. Does that really need a competition director? It's something. There's some sort of a disconnect there somewhere. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't.
That's going to be what, 5 trucks we heard up to, and colleagues running it. I mean, that's and we haven't really heard who's getting those rides yet. I mean, there's some truck rides there that could be a pretty big deal.
Good quality truck rides too that are going to be up front. I mean, think of coming up with 5 guys. Are there 5 guys out there? I mean, you got Butterbean just won the ARCA championship over the weekend here, so I mean, he's one that maybe they'd be interested in bringing him in, but he was a Chevrolet guy. And then you got, other guys that are hanging out there. Derek Kraus is one that always hung around Colleague. You would think maybe he would be one.
He runs their simulator program.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be real interesting to see who those 5 are that they put in there. And I don't think it's going to have to be people that bring a lot of money in. You wouldn't think, because that team should be funded, right, Dan?
That's what we were told. That they were
Hey, gentlemen,
by Dodge.
We're running short of time. Let's make a couple of picks here. Let's leave SVG out of it this week because he's the clear favorite. Let's all take someone else other than SVG for the race. I'm going to go with, let's go with C. Bell in the 20 car. All right, Dano, who are you looking at?
I'm going to go with AJ Allmendinger, another road course guy.
All right, Brian.
Well, if I can't take SVG, then I'll take Tyler Reddick, and he'll punch his ticket into the next round.
That'd be nice. Now, quickly, lacrosse. Who are we looking at lacrosse? Anyone? Dano?
Ty Majeski.
Okay. Brian took him first. I'm gonna go with the 39 car myself.
Yeah, it's probably going to be
Morrissey, by the way. That is.
Yeah, I mean, if those 2 are gone, my head would say go with Casey Johnson or Gabe Summers. But you know what? I'm going to go with Penn Sauter. Come on, take their cash. Come on.
There you go. Yeah, let's go, Penn. Hey, thanks for tuning in. And real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. LTN is produced and directed by Dan Margetta. Our engineer is Matt Losey. See you next week.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.